And it's not just, we're not going to be at this game or we're not going to be at this practice. This kid is raising hell at home. When we've had to address that, this kid's raising hell at home. Okay, how can we help support you? Because that's what we're here to do as the organization. Because helping support you means, how do we help you structure it so that you don't have to deal with this kind of behavior at home? Also, if they show this behavior on the court, it's over. It's over. No school's going to put up with it.
No.
Even schools for alternative schools that have athletic programs, their coaches still have low tolerances. They're not going to put up with crazy behavior that's out of control. So it's best that we get clamps on it now and teach the kids how to self-regulate and self-monitor and monitor their own behaviors.
There are power in words.
Right.
And sometimes, and we've had multiple families, your approach may not be the best.
Right.
And to your kid, because that kid lives with you. So you might have an emotional approach to how they're playing for the fall, playing for their basketball season.
Right.
You may approach it wrong because your words may not be good. Sometimes it's like, hey, I try to people like Coach Mo, like, I'm gonna yell at this boy if I see like do like he be tripping, wants to clean his room, blah blah blah. I'm like, don't mean you don't want to play basketball. That doesn't mean he's a bad kid. Can you talk to him? Sure. I'm not in your household, but I can tell that kid like, hey, clean up your room because you're gonna roll your ankle. If you roll your ankle and get hurt, you're out for the season. You have stuff on the floor. Something simple as that, a kid like, oh, that's important to me. That's important to me. It's always good to ask help. Even as a parent, I ask help, with certain things, because all three of my kids are different and may have different situations, and you ask help. But no reason to lose a kid that wants to play a sport or wants to do something or develop and get better because the initial communication just goes ghost. And we got to be honest, and I'm really concerned when it's 2024 and we have cell phones and social media and things like that too, and you can't get a hold of your coach.
Yeah.
you can't get a hold of the aerobic instructor. You can't get a hold of the.
Can I throw this in here?
Yeah.
If your coach refuses to hold your kid accountable for poor behaviors outside of basketball or football or tennis or soccer, you probably need to find a new coach.
Right. We will. We will.
That's the one I got to put in there.
Yep.
Because if your kid is not being held accountable for their off-court, off-field, out of season behaviors by the coach, if they're screwing up in school and the coach is just fine with it, then that coach is not teaching this young man or young lady how to be successful in life. And that's what youth sports ultimately is.
Right.
Is giving people life skills to be successful. And so you need to communicate with the coach and then evaluate whether the coach holds them accountable or not. But the thing we advise strongly against is don't just arbitrarily yank your kid out of sports if they're misbehaving. Communicate with the coach and let coach know what's going on. And if the coach decides that this kid is suspended, if they're suspended, then that gives extra weight and they can partner with you and say, okay, I've suspended him or her for the next 2 weeks. These are the things they need to do to work back. And these are things they need to show in home and in practice in order to earn their spot back. We can do that, but you have to communicate with us.
Imagine your whole life being altered because when you were 7 years old, you went to the grocery store with your grandma and there were grapes sitting there and you grabbed 2 grapes and you ate them because you were 7, you didn't know any better. Imagine security pulling yourself into the back office at 7 years old and saying, hey, you're a thief and you steal things. And now every time you go somewhere, you're going to wear this mark that says you're a thief. I'm going to make sure that you're never going to be able to be a normal 7th grader, high schooler, an adult, because at 7 years old, you made this one mistake and that's it for you. No one does that. No one would like that. That would be a terrible thing. How about we just address that right now before we get to that part? And you never think about it. The kids make mistakes. Kids, they do want to play their game after school. They're kids. They don't clean their room right away. Sometimes I don't because I'm tired. Maybe it's just that conversation, but to just, I'm done with you playing in this sport at that moment. there's always a problem, especially without the communication.
Well,
Without the communication, we look for the kid in the game time about to start. What happened? Oh, he had a bad week at school. What'd you do? I'm turning the jersey in from his school coach, and the school coach, he can't tell me any different, and they're done. That's just not good. It doesn't work like that.
Well, part of growing up is acting the fool and then learning how not to act the fool.
Right.
And learning how to fix things after you done acted the fool.
Right.
And so if you remove that ability for them to fix it, you're not teaching them anything. You're just punishing them.
Yep.
So show them how they fix it after they acted a fool. Now you got to show how you fix it and show how you fix the damage that you created.
Yep.
And so that's what a coach can do. Communication is key. Please wrap the coaches into any behavioral management stuff that you need, because the coach may have some tricks and things that you are not aware of. And sometimes coaches aren't just coaches.
Right.
They have other things that they do that may give them some expertise that you're not aware of. But tap into it and don't just arbitrarily yank a kid out because they're not doing what you need them to do. Because you're taking the thing that can get disciplined and you're removing it. So, and you're taking a tool out of your toolkit and saying, I'm not going to use this hammer.
Right.
I'm going to just use a screwdriver to drive these nails in.
Right.
And that's not doesn't benefit anybody.
Right.
So, that's what we're talking about with the consistency and the communication piece of it. Coming up, we have Dribble Drive Camp coming up next week.
Yep.
Sign up. We're going to be pushing that. You're going to start seeing more and more about it because we need to get more people into it. We have beginner, where we're kind of teaching you how to dribble, intermediate, and advanced. Most people are going to be beginner, intermediate. We're going to have very few advanced, and we expect very few advanced. I'll drop the link for Dribble Drive here, but Coach, tell them a little bit what they can expect at Dribble Drive Camp.
We've done them, before, and they've gotten better and better. We're going to teach you, your basics, your warm ups, how to use both hands, crossover, those things there. But what we do different, we apply them to game situations, game speed, how to attack, how to dribble 3 times, move the ball, how to dribble time, come off 2 and get a floater, pull up shot. We're going to make sure you give different scenarios on when and what kind of dribbles to do, how to protect the ball, how those things there. And you're going to make a lot of mistakes in this. In the drive part is, how do I finish after I go to the rim? How do I finish after somebody bumps me and I keep it there? So you learn. That's why we try to say, like, most kids and people are going to be intermediate. You probably played some seasons. But when the games have gotten tight, you struggle. And that's what I'm saying. Don't sign up for the advance. Advance, I'd say more as your high school starting, varsity guys or JV. You've seen a trap, you've seen a zone, you've been bumped, you've been fouled, you've played multiple years of high school ball and some AAU ball. You understand that I'm now a senior. So seniors got to be in that advanced group. I'm a senior, I'm a junior there. So you're a 4th grader, sure, you might be able to jump better than most 4th graders. Advance is, what if I put you against a 4th grader that is doing 20 times the work you are, you're going to turn that ball over. Right. And you don't know what they are until you get in these camps and you see, oh, there are people that are doing something. I love it. I love that competition. We do a lot of that in there. So
dates are August 23rd, Dribble Drive Camp. And starts at $75, goes up to $85. Go ahead and sign up. And we're looking pretty much beginner intermediate starts at 5:30, goes till 7, and then 7 to 8:30 is going to be our advanced group. Yep. And so, and we'll probably split some of the intermediate kids there, so you probably can come to both. So,
yep.
But yeah, that's Dribble Drive Camp, 23rd. Sign up for it. It's a way to teach you how to handle the ball and how to score with it. And the other thing is, we're still doing academy. We're getting ready for in-season stuff. If you want to come play with us, you got to train with us, and that's the bottom line. Yep. And that's the bottom line.